There we go. Give me a second. I'm loading up on Instagram. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me send it out to the chat. Mr. Green here. In the flesh, baby. We're just loading up here. All right, people are starting to come in. Give me a second, my Phantomites. Let me copy paste this to the chat so y'all guys will know that I'm going live. And that should be good right there. All right, how we all doing? Mr. Green here, Trade Phantoms. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to be here in the house. I'm live on Instagram and YouTube, whatever's your fancy. We're going to do some market analysis once I just get my screen set up here. I'm going to be able to get the chat box up. There we go. There's Williamson. There's my buddy Williamson. There we go. All right. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on? All right. There we are. That's right. So give me a mic check if you can hear me. What up, Ryan? Whether you're on Instagram or YouTube, I'm broadcasting on Restream right now. Very excited. First official day of lives for Mr. Green back in his new schedules. We have a little delay here, but that's fine. So basically, I'm just going to hit you with, the theme of what I'm going to do on these lives is similar to what y'all pay attention to Mr. Black for. Finding IOF, institutional order flow. But it's going to be all assets. I know a majority of you know me as an FX guy. That's cool. We can look at Forex too, but I want you to know that we're open to all assets. We're open to Forex, stocks, futures, opt-in, crypto, you name it. We'll look at it. We're just doing basic IOF. But what I'm going to try to throw in a little bit for you guys here is I'm going to show you the levels, right? We're going to go to the levels. We're going to look for those imbalances. We're going to look for buying. We're going to look for selling. But then I want to, what's up, AJ? Then I want to add to it a little bit. I want to bring in some of my psychology. And I'm going to say, well, this would be the right way of doing it, but this is where a lot of traders can go wrong. And believe me, traders make mistakes all the time. And just because I'm saying something's right and something's wrong doesn't mean it's going to work. We teach that here very well at Phantoms. You could, AJ or Raul, what's going on, Luque? You guys could place a trade a dozen times. I don't care if it's 10 times. And if you do the process right and you get stopped out or you lose money, I'm going to say run it again. So to me, it's just going to be about following the process, evaluating the trade, and then evaluating the setup, and then saying where people can go wrong. So what do you got? You guys' show. What do you want me to look at? Doesn't matter. Any asset. I don't care. A chart is a chart. Doesn't have to just be Forex. And welcome if you're new. A lot of people in here are members. This is obviously public. This isn't one of our private ones. So this is kind of to get the word out. I'm just waiting on y'all. Gonna drink my Hims it is. Let's go. You got it, the School of Fitness. Is that Jimmy? Jimmy! Okay, so we got two. Let's go to Hims. All right, let's go here. So, when we're looking at IOF, it's always a good, especially, if we're looking at a stock, I like to get the top-down analysis going. All right. So when we're starting with top down, and I'll get to your stuff, guys. I got you. We got time. So when we're starting with anything, specifically a stock, I would say, when you want to look at top-down analysis, it's good to see it on a time frame like this, on a monthly time frame, because you can actually see when the stock, became an IPO, right? So this stock's been in existence for about 5 years, right? Kind of played around for a few years. Recently, really kind of just took off. Obviously, has reached coming up on, it hit a high of 72. You can see that wick right there, and then you could see obviously it's making a comeback on it. So usually like kind of like what I like to do with my ranges is create where there's no supply in this case, obviously, because this is the all-time high. So I would still stick a line up there on my higher time frame. Just kind of, you want to target that, you know what I mean? Like, especially, because I'm going to assume that, when we are two screens, Wilson. You only got to see me on one though. When we are evaluating these things, we want to figure out where demand and where supply is, specifically on the high time frame first. So what I would do is I would run my fib, and I would say, okay, obviously I know that we're probably going to go long here because there's a good idea that the trend is going to be up. And, we are high in the range, and I know you guys know me. This is where things would differ. Okay. You guys know me from FX that, this would be a selling opportunity. When a stock is making a bull run like this, if you get a retracement, I'm okay with that. But what I'm going to still do is I'm still going to drill down. I'm going to go monthly, range, weekly. I want to make sure I'm going to check my trend. Okay. I'm going to check my trend on this. I mean, it's fair to say that's an uptrend. To me, it's kind of I don't like uptrends like that because it's not a consistent uptrend. You can see obviously this stock has had some, obviously massive swings, and it came up and then you get straight shot down. So you want to be careful with something like this, but still let's play the game uptrend. And if you go down to a daily, go to those daily levels. If you come back to a retracement right here, Jimmy, School of Fitness, man, I do like this level. Okay, you got a gap. So right here, basically what this is indicating, as a lot of y'all know, is institutions at this particular level bought heavy, but not all those orders necessarily got filled, leaving a large amount of unfilled orders. UFOs are real. Okay. This would be an area of interest, 56.14. If, I could say you could take the whole level like that. Normally, when a trader wants to have risk management parameters, so meaning like you want to have at least try to get a 3-to-1. I wouldn't target higher than the all-time high. That's just kind of a thing that I look at. It is heading into, Jimmy, I agree 100%. The question is, well, I mean, there's no supply. There's no supply, man. I mean, if you call that supply, right? Those are just, I mean, this is a little bit different. It just whacks supply, right? So it just can't, it's coming off of it. So how I would look at this is I would take, you have to, so this would be an example a trader would, somebody would mistakenly, this could be the mistake that the trader would make. I personally, if you were going to take the supply level, the short, you needed to have done it already. I'm on a daily chart right now. All right. I'm on a daily chart and price has already come back. So if you pulled from up here, Jimmy, then I'm good with that. If you didn't, I'm going to stay with the trend, right? Because there's multiple time frame analysis going on. This is where a lot of people make mistakes. They forget. I'm not saying you made this mistake. What a lot of people do is, they forget the overall hierarchy of what's going on. Yeah, we're high up in the range on recent all-time highs, but we're coming back for retracement. So we have a nice demand level. The thing I would say about this on the retracement is I would try to fine tune this level a little bit so I don't have to take the whole thing. You could shorten this level out here. You could just take that right there. Me being more of a conservative zone picker. So I'm not conservative by nature with trading, but as a zone guy, you guys know I'd rather pull back. I think what my idea would be is if I pulled from the bottom of this daily level, right where the gap kind of starts, now you're talking about a very nice R to R, and you're looking at kind of entering around this 52 area, starting at the beginning of the gap and the beginning of the move. Now, let's talk psychology. Jimmy, stop. That's not what you meant. Because I don't want a Nikita. That's Mr. Black's thing. That ain't my thing. I like circles. He likes boxes. Can't I be my own man? I'm not Mr. Black. There's certain things about me that are better than Mr. Black, and there's certain things that Mr. Black is better than me. But I like my circles, Nikita. Can I have my circles? Ah! And Jimmy, you don't mean nothing. Lying. School of Fitness. I'll show you fitness. But you got a good R to R here, though. If you came back and you drilled in and you put this level here, I'll tell you why, Nikita, why I use circles, to be honest with you. Because I like the circle because it helps it helps me identify. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing as the box. Helps me see zone on zone correlation, but it yeah, Mr. B doesn't smoke cigars, exactly. All right. So it kind of helps me. That's what I would use there. All right, let's keep going up. Bitcoin, it was gold then Bitcoin. Gold then Bitcoin. You want to say you want spot gold. Lugay, I got you. Spot gold. So I've got mixed feelings on spot gold. I'm just going to tell you that. I got mixed feelings in general on gold. So Lukel, I mean, what I would say is, I mean, yeah, we got to look at what the chart shows us, right? When buying and selling in the market as retail traders and investors, we have to ultimately look at what the big banks and the institutions are doing. What are they giving us? What are they showing us? All right. We want to be on that right side of the trade. Now, experience comes into play. Okay. And experience does count. So gold obviously has been on a massive rip. It's been the safe haven of the world. All right. So if I'm going to set up a little monthly supply level, I'm going to have to basically, I don't have supply up here at the top, but I have all-time highs. So I'm going to use that as my supply level. And then down here on my order flow, there's a big imbalance down here in monthly demand. All right. So I'll have myself a rally base rally right there. I'm going to set my Fibonacci up just so I can get a view of my football field, what I would like to call. Now, when I talk about my football field, am I high on the range? I'm talking about lines. Not sure. I don't know. This is how I do it, Akita. I've been doing it like this forever. This is my steez, my style. You don't have to do it. You can do it the other way. It's just, this is how I do it. We fall into habits. We're creatures of habits. Okay. Now, middle of the range, we still have an up week trend. We still have an up week trend, Legal. So I told everybody in class, I like the buy. I love it. But in my opinion, you got to be patient. Okay? You need a little sell-off on gold. It needs to take a breath. Okay? So I'd go down to my daily, middle of the range, and look at this daily level. Oh. So you got a couple choices to make. To me, this is a no-brainer. So it just punctured through daily demand, right? It punctured through two levels of daily demand. It punctured through that one. And then it punctured through this one. What? Oh, look, it's the ghost. I know that ghost. Why is this doing that? Okay. And it punctured through that one. So those levels are no longer pure. But I'm going to give you some options here. I mean, there's a daily demand zone just sticking right out at us like a sore thumb right here, right? That's a big retracement. Okay? That's a big retracement. You're really into these lines, Nikita. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. This is the way and I've been teaching for a long time. You don't have to. This is how I do it. I'm not going to. Nikita, you're the only person that's ever brought this up to me. Only person. I'm not going to change my entire teaching style because it might confuse you. I've been teaching a long time. You should not get confused if you're looking at basic IOF. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, okay? But, I mean, come on. We're wasting valuable class time on this right now where we could be going over stuff. It's kind of, to me, it doesn't really make much sense. Now, this level down here, I like it. Big retracement. One thing I teach my advanced students, okay? One thing I teach my advanced students is this, all right? What I like to do is I like them to look at, the workshop's tomorrow, 7 p.m. One thing that I like to do tomorrow, there you go. Take it with a grain of salt. All right. Now look at on this daily. Let me give you a little bit of advanced demand. So we know there's a high probability of some unfilled orders down here, right? Drop, base, rally, a lot of buying in this area right here. Okay, a lot of buying in this area. Good opportunity that institutions will buy in this area. And then we place our entry order down here. So we're getting on that right side of the trade. We're getting that professional look. All right. That's what we're trying to do. But some of you are like, Mr. Green, it may not make it down there. And some of you may be right. So what I like to do is I like to look at this. Look how you have this drop base rally. You close. Look at that candle. Look at that candle close. Then you basically have another day of boom. Now listen. That day close to the next day. When we start calling, we start splitting candles. But we got a drill to split candles. You're probably I'll guarantee that you're going to find some levels down there. Okay? So let's do an 8-hour chart. Let's drill down to an 8-hour chart. There you go. It took me one drill. Okay? Rally base rally. So what I would probably do, and I'm giving you some advanced stuff, I would probably scale in. Okay? You don't have to be sorry. It's okay. All right. I would, so I'll give you the number. I would probably scale in if it was me, not giving any direct advice. I would probably scale in at 3126.43 right there. And then I would put another order in down here around 3017. Because I don't know if it's going to make it all the way down here. And I would set my stop, obviously, under this daily level. So when you look at it back on the daily, I'm starting to say, you could scale in a couple times, Luque. You could scale in here on this first 4-hour level, on this 8-hour level. You could scale in. There's a lot of opportunity here, right? A lot of you guys see Mr. Blue scale a lot. This is what I would probably do. Let's say hypothetically, you were going to risk 1% total on this investment. I most likely would buy. I would put about 0.25% here on the first line, 0.25% on the second line, and then the rest of the 0.5% on the bottom line. And then my stop would be down there. So the first entry would be about 3126.43. Second entry, this is obviously we're throwing water balloons, not darts here. Second entry, 3083.55. Last entry, 3017.06. And I'd have a stop around 2940. Cool in the gang. All right, let me take a sip. How are we all doing? We good? I seen Willinson put in a little plug. Thank you. If you're new and you're not a member, we encourage you to come check us out. You can go to our website, TradePhantoms.com, at TradePhantoms.com, www.TradePhantoms.com. And if you go there, don't worry, we're going to get to Bitcoin next. I got you. Basically, what we would do here. Now you got a full view of me. So if you go to the website, you don't have access to members only. That's for people that are members. Dr. Julie Wood. I thought about you today, Julie. I thought about you. You were in my mind. You were in my mind today, Julie. You know what I realized about you? I'm going to tell you the truth. It's like I'm in a relationship with you, but I don't have any of the advantages of the relationship. You're a total pain in the you-know-what. You're like You know how I told you female students I particularly like more than male students just because they're nicer. Nothing sexual. Just because they're nicer. But you, Julie, you are a pain in the you know what. But you also know that this. You also know that you're one of my favorites. That's why I can talk to you like that. Are you going to school? I don't know what that means, Nikita. Does that mean I need to stop talking to Julie and go around your schedule? Does that mean you're leaving? I mean, I've already upset you a couple times today. So, I mean, what else? What's going on? You got school, you're going to school. I mean, you trade and you're going to school. Sit in school and listen to me. That's what I used to do. I ain't flirting. Chill with that. All right, so if you're brand new, we do more than just talk about relationships here. We do trading and investing. Okay. You come to TradePhantoms.com. As my man in the chat, Williamson, said, we do have a class tomorrow. Mr. Black will be teaching it, though, not myself. I'll be there to help out with questions and so on and so forth. You can just come here, click on the register here button. It'll take you where you need to go. And, you can go check that out. Love to have you. And if you are there, great. 7 p.m. EST. And if you are there, you will learn a lot about the introductories of trading and investing. And yeah, look at the countdown. 1 day and 6 hours. Wow, there's such a lag on Instagram. It's crazy. I can see this now. I can see what Mr. Black was talking about. There's a huge lag on Instagram. Yeah, it is what it is. What are you going to do? Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. You're not even a member? You're not even a member and you're busting my balls? Come on! Oh my God! What's up with this? Hey, enjoy school. I'm just messing with you. Enjoy school. We'll see you when you join, brother. We'll see you. Got you. If you got thick skin and you can take my crap, you can do it. Shut up, Williamson. There's no need for you to chime in with your crap. All right? Stop hitting on my girl. That's basically what I'm going to say. Even though she's like not my girl, she's my girl. You know, you say like someone who's your friend is your girl. It's my girl. Stop hitting on my girl. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. So class tomorrow. Also, if you're new, as you can see, we're on 2 social media outlets right now. We also do TikTok. We also have a podcast. So check us out. If you're serious and you want to learn about this thing of ours, this trading and investing, this is where to be at. This is the place. All right, Bitcoin, crypto in general. Woo! What a run, huh? Yeah, I mean, come on. Jimmy, she's just asking for attention. Dr. Julie Wood. Asking for attention. Look at me, I'm a doctor. All right, Bitcoin. It's been on a run, man. It's been on a run, boy. I'm just gonna look at it on the CME chart. To me, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make a difference. So the thing that I found interesting about Bitcoin before we stop breaking it down is I'm on a weekly chart for specific reasons. So if you look at where my cursor is on my screen, try to follow my cursor. You're gonna see that last week closed above 100,000. Closed above 100,000. That to me was significant. Now it is in supply. Okay, so if it is in supply, you do have a forming, I mean, it's close enough to an uptrend, but you are coming into all-time highs. So if you're, depending on what kind of investor you are or trader, I'm going to give you different advice. Not advice, suggestions. We don't give advice. You choose to do what you want to do. Now, when you look at right here, okay, well, let's take the top-down approach, right? So once again, we're dealing with something that's all-time highs. Just mapping out kind of a range on the monthly. Gonna set up my fib. There's my fib. So I'm high in the range, right? But that is because I'm dealing with an asset. So I'm dealing with all-time highs. When you go to the weekly, you do have the forming of an uptrend, okay? But still, you're gonna have an uptrend on the daily. Obviously, we know that for a fact, right? I would buy Bitcoin as a trader, but I would wait for a retracement. Okay, you come down here on the chart, and a lot of traders, like I said earlier, make a lot of mistakes with I crave attention. Me. It's all about me. So we've got a drop base rally with a gap. Great level of imbalance right there. If we kind of scroll in, right below that, right around this 96,000 level, 96,783, right around there. I like that. It depends. Like I said, once again, what kind of investor are you? What kind of trader are you? Are you someone, if you're already in Bitcoin and you're in it for the long haul and you're looking to add, this would be a great add position. If you were looking to trade it, I would still wait for a pullback. I wouldn't take the short right now, just because I feel like it already whacked it. So, I mean, if you looked up here, right over here, right, obviously a good trader has a 3-directional trading strategy. If you look up here, it did just whack off supply, but to me that move might be spent, right? So you already had some reactionary price movement over here. You got yourself a rally base and a drop. Now price did hit it and come back down, and then it kind of floated around. I don't look at that as a confirmation short sell. I would have, because we would have taken profit on this already, right? If that would have been a nice zone to find right there, right? You could have easily snatched. Look at supply. That is supply working at its finest, though. Rally base drop. Price came up as high as here, came as low as here. You already hit the 1-to-1. You would have locked in profit and then got stopped out on the retracement back up. So you would have made some money on this. Remember this. This is important. This is important. This is one of the things that we can talk about that you got to pay attention to. A lot of traders, the thing that they all struggle with the most. Well, you didn't give me a time frame, Jared. Give me a time. And I can't guarantee nothing or promise nothing. It's kind of like the worst setting for you to ask me publicly. especially when you're a member and you could email me, but yet you want to put me on blast in front of everybody. Go ahead, give me a time frame. I'm gonna answer it through a compliant structure. No, we don't need any numbers here, but this is more important. Give me a time frame, Jared. Per month. Yes. But that's a good month. But yes, it's very reasonable. Now, is it a guarantee? No. So you're talking about what, making 8%? Yes. But that is a good month. You're making about 8% a month. You're making a little more than 100% a year, right? And doubling an account is definitely doable in a year, but it also does take a good year, and it takes some seasonality with it as well. So that, do I think that could happen in a month? Absolutely. I know it could. Is it going to happen every month? That's kind of the game. You know what I mean? You can't really look at it, Jared. You and I just know this because you've been a valued member for a long time. You think about the money too much, man. Like you're just worried about this outcome. You got to get this outcome out of your head, Jared. And I'm only saying this as just trying to help as a coach because I know you and you work really hard at this, but I just would get away from it, I would just get away from it. That's just me. I would stay away from that. Back, but it is, yes. To answer your question, yes, it is doable. Um, but a lot of investors here. This is where a lot of traders make mistakes. They a lot of traders. You know, we've had this conversation multiple times. A lot of traders make the same mistake of they don't know how to manage trades. You know, when you start learning supply and demand, your entries, your stop losses, your targets, well, entries and stop losses are good, but your targets, people screw this up. Because look it, what do I tell y'all when you're gonna go counter trend? This is a counter trend trade. So a counter trend trade, I'm not telling you not to take it, because you can take a counter trend trade, but you have to be reasonable on your targets, because you're going against market sentiment. All right. So right here, I just showed you that if you took this supply, this level up here, this short on Bitcoin, and it came down, and you took that 1-to-1 first and reduced position, you would make money. Okay. I wouldn't. I would wait for it to come back here. This is the level I said I would buy at. That's my retracement level right there on the daily. That's my retracement. I think Bitcoin needs to breathe a little bit, but that's just my personal opinion. Ain't nothing wrong with breathing. Ain't nothing wrong with breathing. And I mean, this is why most people don't make it in this bit. Now, I don't want to say don't make it in this business, but this is why most people don't make it in this business is because they give up. You know, this is really just a question of, can you follow a process and just stick it out until the process makes sense? And you should be able to, but the failure rate's so high in this industry because people give up, or people try to self-teach themselves, or, you know, they think they got it and they don't. All right. You know, if you're going to learn this thing, you need professional training. I don't care if you use us or somebody else. You got to get professional training. There's a 97% chance that you fail without training. It's proven. They do a study every 5 years. Go check it out. So, you know, one thing that I've noticed, now let's talk about the people that don't quit, the people that are going through the journey and doing the trials and tribulations. This is an area where a lot of people struggle, the management of a trade. And a lot of times someone would pick this level and they'd be happy. They'd be like, oh man, they'd be like, look at you. That's a great, I didn't take this trade, but I'm saying that's a great level. That's supply working at its finest. Price came back to recent highs, close to all-time highs. Unfilled orders are sitting up there, selling unfilled orders from institutions, right? So we want to trade with the banks. Okay. Price comes up. You take a quick little short sell. Boom. Price comes down, but you take some profit. Now, yes, we tell you you want your winners to be longer than your losers. Of course, 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay. With that being able, that's good. That's good, Jared. I'm proud of you, man. And you've worked hard at this. You've worked very hard at this. So I'm proud of you. And I mean that. And it shows, because you went through the ups and downs. Now you just got to keep it. And by keeping it, you got to maintain it. Because this is the thing about the business. You're not out the woods, and neither am I. And I've been profitable for 12, 13 years. I'm not out the woods. I can get lazy. I can slack off. It happens. You got to stay in the game and stay focused. And if you feel like life is pulling you away, then lay back. That's for everybody. Lay back. Don't place as many trades. If you're being distracted because life gets lifey, as they would say, and life does get lifey, lay back. Don't place as many trades. The gentleman who passed away years ago from trading in the zone talks about it. Sometimes you got to take some time off. Time off from trading, not time off from the industry. So managing trades, you don't want to take long targets against profit sentiment, against market sentiment trend. So, you know, you could have wrapped up a little bit of profit here, but yeah, normally we want to trade with the trend. And when we trade with the trend, yeah, we want our winners to be bigger than our losers. Yeah, Luque, for sure. You know, I mean, really, what all those years that I traded, So I was first taught. Well, let's look at it from the legit perspective. When I first started, I started like probably everybody in here trying to teach myself, and then I was smart enough to know that I couldn't figure it out on my own. Thank God. And as time went on, the first training that I got was from a equities trader, and he took me kind of under his wing, and I learned institutional order flow. And like anybody that trades at a professional level has to use IOF. That's why when I see other people on social media and they're trying to look at other things besides IOF, I know that they can't be consistent. Like you see a great example of Mr. Blue uses added things, but he starts with IOF. That's the tale of a good trader. That's what I've come across in my years of looking at it. You have to understand supply and demand first before you start adding things to your thing, right? You guys know me. I add institutional numbers. I add fundamentals. There's things that I add all the time, but it's got to start with IOF. So have I molded that trade plan, Luque? Yes. Now the trade plan, I don't think has changed in probably 8 years. Legitimately, it probably hasn't changed in 8 years. But those first 4 to 5 years, the first year took a year to get profitable. Then I started adding numbers, fundamentals, and stuff like that. But it all started with IOF. And the strategy is universal. It doesn't matter if you're trading Forex or futures or options or stocks or ETFs, right? So this would be a good time. No, Bombfather, you're right. You're right. Guess what, though? You know why I'm so in agreement with you? Because I got nothing to do with that. So look it. Get on Mr. Black. Get on Mr. Blue. Say, I want my pass and prop folder down. Because I'm not in that one, man. I'm on. Listen, yeah, man. Let's dish it. Oh, dish it up. I thought you were going to school, Nikisha. Oh, you meant you're going back to school. What charge settings do I use? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like what brokerage? I use Owanda for Forex and I use TradingView for everything else, but and Thinkorswim for my options trading. But let me take a quick pause, not a break, but a pause, because I see that we have a lot of new entries. So if you're new and you're coming in here and you are serious about wanting to learn how to do this and possibly be as good looking as me someday, that's going to be tough though. Only Jimmy could pull that off. Check us out. We got a class tomorrow, complimentary. Come taste the cooking, free of charge. If you go to TradePhantoms.com and click on register here, you can sign up. The class is at 7 p.m. EST. All right. Be with us for about 90 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Mr. Black's teaching, so we know he likes to go over sometimes. But you guys, a lot of you guys know Mr. Black. He teaches it better than I do, so you're in for a treat. It's going to really go over. It's going to go over all these things. I mean, I don't want to waste too much time here, but it will go over all these things here below. The importance of trading in a multi-directional trading strategy. The importance of multiple asset class trading, not just stocks. Schools. How professionals analyze for markets and trades. We'll go over the strategy. You're not going to become a pro in one night, but it's an opportunity for you, to see is the industry for you. Okay. And yeah, I use candlesticks, Nikita. I'm very simple with what I do. Okay, very simple. Yeah, I'll look at it, Joseph. I got you. I look at it very, very simple. If you look at my charts. So to finish with that, hope we see you guys there tomorrow. Also, we have a podcast. Check us out. We're about to add a swag store. That'll be cool. So my charts are very simple. The only reason I put for chart settings is I just do basic candlestick analysis. The only reason that I put a Fibonacci or lines or circles at all, and I'm not saying this to brag, is because it's to identify you to you guys. Like I could clear this right now. Now this is only because I've been doing it forever, but I could clear this right now. if I cleared this right now, I could do chart analysis without anything. I could tell you that we were high in the range just by looking at it. I could tell you that we have a mild uptrend. I could tell you that it's not a good time to buy right now because we're higher in the range and that we need a pullback. I would tell you that if we were going to short sell, we missed it. I could do that without using that stuff, right? So, but basically, Nikisha, I try to use as least as possible. What asset class? Okay. No, I mean, it depends also on your experience too, you know? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Raul. Appreciate it. I mean, my chart settings are they're not chart settings. I'm just I'm confused by that a little bit. Are you talking about the Fibonacci? You're a pushy individual. Hey, Tesla, what'd you do? You sell it or buy it? You sold it, right? You had to. I don't get what you mean by chart settings. That's a blank screen, and I'm just adjusting the time frames. There's nothing here special I'm doing. You gotta go back to school. It's all right. We have a place for you. We have a place for you. Joseph, come on, dude. Give me some answers. What are you looking at? What you looking at? All right. Now you're being weird. Jimmy, are you here still? School of Fitness. What's going on? What's going on with Ed Kidia? Are you messing with me? Hey, listen, my friend, you got a sense of humor, so you win in my book. Daily, weekly supply. Okay. You're asking me what I would have done. Was it a viable trade? All right. So Joseph, let's take it from the top. Let's go monthly, weekly, daily. Trading view. I would say no. It wouldn't have. I wouldn't have taken it. One, you have the forming of an uptrend here on the weekly, and you're in the middle. You're in the middle of the range. Yes, you are in weekly supply. You are. So let's get advanced, Joseph. Were you wrong? It depends. What was your setup? Because if your range, so let's. This is a Joseph great example, and it's a good teaching moment. And I'm going to answer all your questions and more. When you do multiple time frame analysis, this is what most people don't understand. You can set it up however the heck you want. You still need to look at the higher levels. Okay, so your chart difference from low time frame to intermediate time frame to high time frame has to be a 4 to 6 times difference than the prior one. So for example, if you're trying to find zones on a daily and then you do your trend on a weekly, there's 4 to 6 trade. It has to be anywhere between 4 to 6 times. So there's four. Where I don't know. We're a little far on Euro Aussie. I think we're a little far. We're 108 pips on the green, man. I don't know if it's the best time to do it. So, sorry for that. I got distracted. I seen Euro Aussie treating us well. So, if you're looking at daily, if you're looking at monthly, and then you're looking at weekly, and then you're looking at daily, that's the most common one that most people use, Joseph, right? Day goes into a week 5 times, week goes into a month 4 times. If I went monthly, weekly, daily, Joseph, then no, that's not a viable trade. It's not. You have you have the forming of an uptrend, and you're in the middle of the range. But say you went weekly, daily, 4-hour, Joseph. Say your range, you ranged it different. Now you're high in the range. So if you sent me that, so if you're high in the range, it doesn't matter what the trend is, right? Because now you're going to have a daily uptrend, high in the range, and you went into supply. I don't know how you got stopped out. It hasn't even made it up there yet. I mean, I think you took it too low, is what I would say to you. I think you took it down here when you should have took it from up there. Am I right? Because if I was going to have taken it, I would have taken it from up here. So if you got stopped out and you pulled from this continuation pattern, this drop-based drop, I would say that I didn't. First off, you weren't high in the range. So yeah, that would be my answer for that. But you're close. You're close, man. I would never, ever tell you the colors of my candle, Nikisha. Ever. Top secrets crap. See, this is the thing that most people look on. This is the thing. I don't use, Nikesha, I don't use TradingView that much. I just use it to teach. I don't place trades on it. So there's not, it's not like it's a Wanda. You got it, man. What do you got, Malacca? Looking at potential reject. A reject? You mean a retest? 353-ish. Based on a 4-hour zone. You sound so non-committal, Bob. You sound so non-committal. Ish. When you start saying things like ish, play, yeah, kind of sound non-committal, Bob. You non-committal type of cat? Julie. Ole, 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 ole. 353? Yeah, so Bob, if you wanted to take a short there, I would do it. I did check the monthly candles. That's where you are. I mean, for the monthly level, you got to wait for it to be way up here. I did check the monthly. The first chart I looked on was monthly. This is monthly right here. All right, guys, it's about that time. You got me for an hour. So listen, here's the deal. Bob, if you're talking about selling that, I like that. Are you talking about a sell on that? That's a good level. That's a good weekly level. I like that sell. Good level. I would just make sure that your stop loss is at least I would have a stop of at least 370. I'd probably say 375, Bob. No, I trade. I like your entry, and I would have the stop up here just for some wiggle room. But Bob, remember, I'm going to give you some advanced stuff now. If we're in a bull run again on the market, you have to take a quick profit here because you have an uptrend right now on the daily, right? My wife from across the United States right here, Julie Wood, Dr. Julie Wood. I mean, everybody can you guys see the Fibonacci? Yeah. So Bob, it's take a little bit of take the 1-to-1 because we might go into a bull run, right? But I still think you're going to get a bounce. You're going to get a little bit of bounce. So, all right, everybody, that's it. As I said before, I'm checking out. If you are new to Trade Phantoms, if you're already an existing member, don't sign up for this class. But if you're new, we would love to have you tomorrow, complimentary class. We are doing a promo for those of you that have followed us for quite some time and haven't joined because I don't know why. I mean, who knows why? School, work, excuses, I don't know. Listen, if you want to learn this skill set, get the help. As I said earlier, we have over 1,000 members. We'd love to help you, but if you don't want to be helped, then we can't help you. But if you want help and you want to use somebody else, do it up. But you got to get the help, man. This business is too complicated. There's too many things going on to be out there like a lone wolf doing it on your own. AJ, what up? Other than that, everybody, I'll be back on tomorrow. Doing the same thing at what time? 2:30. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 2:30. And I'll see my Trade Phantoms in their live session at 10:30. But that's only for people that are members. Guys, have a great day. Thanks for being with me.